Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Gray 1951, and I wanted to do a video talking about Halloween. Everybody's doing something special for Halloween, and I wanted to do something too. So my video is going to be telling you what's been happening around here at the Art Theater in Champaign. What they've been showing a series of horror films during the month of October. They're calling it Shocktober 2013, which is not terribly original, but it's kind of cool. And anyway. I've been trying to see as many of these as I can. Unfortunately, they show a lot of these films during my work hours, so I can't see them all. But let me tell you what they've been showing. It started, I think the first weekend of the month, it started with the movie Alien. They showed the original Alien in a beautiful, pristine digital print. I don't think I've seen this movie all the way through in a long, long time. There was a lot of it that I had forgotten. And I don't own it on DVD, although now I think I'd kind of like to get it. But that was very impressive. And the following weekend, they showed John Carpenter's remake of The Thing from Another World, which I did not see because I just got lazy and I just sat on my dead ass and I didn't go out to the movies. And I'm sorry I missed it because I've never seen this version of The Thing. So yeah, I blew it. Anyway, so during that week, they also showed something called Misfit Heights, a zombie puppet musical from 2012, which maybe a lot of you know about, and which I'd never heard of before, but I guess it's a lot of fun. And they also had, it's either before or after the movie, they had a zombie crawl, right? Whatever that means. A lot of people, I saw pictures on Facebook, there were a lot of people that did this. They got dressed up in zombie makeup and costumes, and they all went in downtown Champaign, and they were doing this kind of zombie thing around all the bars and restaurants, which I guess was a lot of fun. So anyway, I missed that. I was safe at work when that was going on. Okay, so the following Saturday morning, they had a matinee, 11:30 a.m., which is early for me to get up and go out into the world, but I did it to see White Zombie, starring Bela Lugosi. White Zombie, 1932. Probably the first zombie film ever made. And I've seen this before, but it's been a long, long time. Even though I have this DVD, I haven't watched it. And see it on the big screen, it was really incredible. Bela Lugosi is so good in this movie. He is so sinister, and he underplays it beautifully. I've read reviews of this film where it said he's just very, very hammy, but he's not. He's a very good actor in this. He's very restrained. And if it's possible, he's almost as sinister as he is in Dracula. Now, again, this movie was made in 1932. It was not made by Universal, although it has a lot in common with the Universal films of the time. And in fact, one of the makeup artists on the film is Jack Pierce. And it's a film that has kind of, like a lot of the early sound films, it has one foot back in the silent era, one foot in the sound era. A lot of the scenes in the film were done in complete silence with no dialogue. And I thought it was very impressive. It had very impressive cinematography, interesting kind of expressionistic sets, and very much worth seeing. So I would highly recommend that if you have not seen White Zombie, check it out. If you like old horror movies, you will definitely like this. Okay, so that was Saturday morning. And Saturday evening, I went back to the Art Theater again at 10 o'clock, and they were showing the polar opposite to White Zombie. They were showing something called The Cabin in the Woods, which is a film from 2012. And yeah, 2012. And I don't have that either. And I'm sure I never will. I can't say that I really like this movie. It was interesting and it was impressive in many ways. It had a kind of a cool story to begin with. It was supposed to be a takeoff and kind of an in-joke about slasher films. And I was enjoying it until it got maybe 2/3 of the way through, and then it's almost as though the filmmaker said, okay, what the hell, turn on the computers and let's get that CGI bloodbath going. And did they ever? It was a bloody fucking mess. And I have to admit that I came out of the film thinking, you know, why did they have to be so incredibly excessive? To me, it just ruined it for me. And it made me, I don't know, just kind of reinforced my attitude about modern films that just go way, way overboard with the special effects and the violence for no discernible reason. So anyway, that's The Cabin in the Woods. All right, enough ranting. And that week, during the week, which I also could not see because I was working, they showed Carnival Souls. So we're still doing zombies here, folks. If you have not seen Carnival Souls, I mean, please go out and see it because it's really wonderful. A true cult movie, very inventive, made in 1962, extremely low budget. It had a lot of, well, kind of like semi-professional actors, and the director who made this movie is a guy who made, well, I'm sure you all know the story about Carnival Souls. A guy named Herc Harvey was a maker of industrial films, and this is the only feature film that he ever made, and he just had this wild idea to make a movie about zombies, and it's wonderful, and I'm very sorry that I missed it. It would have been great to see that on the big screen, but I didn't. So anyway, maybe someday I will. And after that, let's see. The following Saturday morning, I got up again early to another 11:30 a.m. showing of a film called Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Haxan. Another film that I don't have to show you. This is a 1922 Danish film. Of course, it's silent. And it's a pseudo-documentary about the history of witchcraft and the persecution of witches down through the ages. And it was very, very impressive. A lot of, I mean, certainly primitive, but the imagery was very beautiful and very, very dramatic and very well done. And my only complaint about this film is the fact that, like all silent films that are released on DVD, it had a musical score attached to it. And sometimes the musical score can enhance what's happening on the screen, and sometimes, in my opinion, it can be a distraction. And in this case, it was a big distraction for me because the music was, well, it seemed to have no relationship whatsoever with the imagery that was going on the screen. It had this bright, very lively and energetic classical music that was being played while you were seeing witches dancing with demons and, you know, Satan, satanic figures and all this stuff, and then the torture that witches went through during the Middle Ages. And I thought that was wildly inappropriate. And like a lot of the silent films that I see at home, if the music is a distraction for me, I just turn it off, or I turn it way, way down, very quiet, but didn't have the option in the theater. So that's my only rant. Other than that, I'm very happy that I had a chance to see it. Okay, the late night movie that week was, here's a classic for you, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I did not go to see simply because I've seen it so many times, including up in Chicago back in the 70s. I saw it twice at the old Biograph Theater, back when you could still hear some of the dialogue. And I really have no desire to go to a theater and go through all that again. But I guess they had a huge crowd of people, and they all were dressed up and dancing and singing all that nonsense and throwing the toilet paper and the squirt guns and all this shit. So you know, that's kind of cool that they did that. I don't know if they're going to start bringing this back weekend after weekend, but maybe they will. So the midweek film that week was something called The Craft from 1996, which I guess is a film about witchcraft, which I have never seen, but it does look kind of interesting, and I'm kind of sorry that I didn't get a chance to see it. So if any of you know anything about it, maybe you can tell me something about The Craft. But went back this week, this Saturday, today, to see House on Haunted Hill, right? The original, Vincent Price. And I'm so glad I got to see this. This was great fun. I saw this film when it first came out back in 1958. It was another one of those films that I remember seeing with my family, and I can remember being scared. Seen it many, many times on television after that, and never missed a chance to see it. Of course, now I have the DVD and I can watch it anytime I want, and very, very glad that I got to see it. So House on Haunted Hill. Never seen the remake, and I doubt that I ever will. And finally, the film that I saw tonight on the late night show at the Art Theater is The Wicker Man. I went to see this tonight. Just got back a little while ago, as a matter of fact. Christopher Lee. I've only seen this movie, I think this is the third time that I've seen this film all the way through. I remember renting it back in probably the 80s or 90s on a VHS tape. And then I recently bought the DVD and I watched it once. And seeing it on the big screen, it was so impressive. I mean, I liked it before. I can't say that it was ever one of my favorite horror films, but it was a good film and I did like it. But seeing it on the big screen like this, it just exploded in my head. And of course, I won't say anything about the surprise and the twist of the plot line. It's just amazing, and to see that played out on a big screen was just it just blew me away. So I'm very, very glad for the chance to have seen that. So that's what's been going on around here for Halloween, and that's how I've been celebrating, by watching a lot of movies. Oh, and one more thing, tonight I could have gone to see a third film at another theater, our Movie Palace Theater, the Virginia, the restored Movie Palace here in Champaign, Illinois. They were showing Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca, okay, which I also have on DVD, but I forgot to bring it down with me. And I've only seen that maybe once or twice in my life. I saw it, I think, 1,000 years ago, and then I saw it recently when I bought the DVD. And I really thought about going again, but I thought I can't see 3 movies in one day. I had some other things I needed to do, so I didn't go. But they are also showing a series. They're starting a series of Alfred Hitchcock films playing out through Halloween week. They're also going to be showing Strangers on a Train, Vertigo, Notorious, and on Halloween night they're showing Psycho. What could be better than that? That is just great. So, oh, and the film that they're showing at the Art Theater on Halloween night, which I won't be able to see because I'll be working, but it's a Japanese film, which maybe a lot of you know about. It's called House. I guess the Japanese spelling is H-A-U-S-U. It's a 1977 kind of a psychedelic horror film, fantasy thing. It's out on the Criterion Collection, and I always think about getting it, and I never have. But yeah, I kind of wish I could see that, but I won't. And so if anybody knows about that, please let me know. I mean, let me know if it's worth picking up the next time they have a sale. So, okay, that's my video for my Halloween Adventures 2013. And I wish everybody a happy Halloween. Take care, folks.